Senator Skelos, you didn't say anything today that you haven't been saying for weeks, that you're committed to the governor's bill. But what if it takes some slight changes in the governor's bill to get what you call a meaningful tax cap approved? Are you prepared to do that?
If it waters down the bill, no. We've passed the governor's bill.
What about a slight tweak, though? Because there are many people here who don't believe you're really for a tax cap. They believe you're for the issue of the governor's bill. But the governor himself has now said he's open to some modifications to get a meaningful cap. If you just hold out only for what you've passed, won't that kill the bill?
No, we've passed it, and we believe ultimately that the Assembly will pass it. I think there were a lot of people that were pessimistic about whether we would have an on-time budget or not, and even the governor at times. And in the end, we got an on-time budget because our conference was optimistic, and I was optimistic that we could get it done on time.
What if it came down to killing the bill or passing?
It's not going to be a matter of killing the bill because I believe the Assembly is going to pass it.
Senator, is it necessary to have mandate relief with final approval of a cap? Can you have the cap in place without some major mandate relief legislation?
Yeah. Let me just reiterate that on January 31st, the Senate passed the property tax cap bill. We passed the governor's program bill. We are sticking with the governor. In fact, I believe today the governor announced that he's going to go on a statewide tour talking about passing his property tax cap bill. So we're prepared to work on mandate relief, but we are very confident that the Assembly should and will pass the property tax cap bill as the governor sent to the legislature. And I would urge the governor to have a serious conversation with Speaker Silver and the Assembly Democrats to get this passed. Property tax relief is needed now. The property tax cap does that. Brian, do you want to? Okay.
Senator Flanagan said recently that he didn't think the tax cap would pass this year if there wasn't more significant mandate relief. So how do you reconcile what you're saying here with what the senator said recently?
We passed the property tax cap. We're working on mandate relief. We believe that there will be a significant mandate relief package. Senator Betty Little, Senator Joe Griffo, and others, Senator Bonasek, are working on this day and night to get mandate relief.
What about the concerns from
But we are very happy that we've passed the property tax cap, and we urge the Speaker to pass that property tax cap.
What about the concerns from local governments and schools who say they can't live under this tax cap of 2% without any exemptions?
Well, I think some of the same comments were made in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts, which is a progressive state, has not fallen off the end of the world. They have an excellent education system. They have services that they provide in their state, just as we provide. And I point out again, as I did before, 78% increase in AIDS education in the last 10 years, more than double the rate of inflation. So I believe through efficiencies, as the governor has said, using reserve funds that the school districts have built up over the years, that you can have a hard property tax cap. We will get mandate relief done, but the property tax cap should be passed in the Assembly.
Senator, follow on Fred's question a bit, Senator.
Joe, I just wanted to say, also, in addition to your question, in the budget, it was this House that led the charge, as Senator Flanagan said, not to push down special ed, 4201 schools to local governments. At the table I was at, Human Services, it was this conference that didn't push more down Medicaid expenditures to counties. So we're aware of it, and we're going to work on a bill. It's going to happen together, but this part has to happen first, I think, in order to get everybody at the table to do what 84% of New Yorkers want, get a property tax cap.
And I think also it's important to point out, as Senator Flanagan said, we gave school districts approximately $194 million, did you say, in relief by eliminating the cost shifts that would have gone down to the school districts this year. Yep.
There have been marchers during budget season, people marching for education restorations, against hydrofracking, any number of things. Do you have envisioned any marches on the Capitol for property tax cap? Is there any of that sort of so-called grassroots?
Well, we're starting a petition drive, and when you do a when you do a property tax cap, you're going to see people thrilled with it. And as a number of my colleagues have said, the people that are struggling are out running their businesses today, and there are many homeowners that have 2 and 3 jobs, husband and wife working, that are trying to make ends meet so they can pay their property taxes.
Marching out of the state. Marching out of the state.
Yep.
Senator, follow on Fred's question. Senator, follow on Fred's question for a second. You've been in Albany enough years, you know, with what one house.
You just speak a little louder.
Senator, often in Albany, when one house or the other passes a bill on their own and it's not passed in the other house, it's often seen as a way to avoid anything happening at all, but to satisfy demands from the base.
One.
If you're refusing to negotiate on the bill, aren't you basically killing the bill?
When we started session this year, one of the commitments that our conference made, and certainly when I met with the governor on numerous occasions before he was even sworn in, is that we would work with him on a nonpartisan basis to accomplish many of his goals. When you have a new governor, he has or she has the right to have certain programs that they think are critically important to their new administration passed. We saw that at the beginning of Pataki, maybe not at the end, but at the beginning of Pataki, we saw it happen. And we committed to the governor that we would pass his program bills. We passed Power for Jobs. It's in the budget now. That happened. All right, we passed the military access that I think Senator Zeldin sponsored and Senator Ball and others. We passed his program bill. We passed his program bill property tax cap. We passed that. It's the Assembly Democrats, for some reason, just can't seem to mesh well with the Democrat governor of this state. And remember, when they ran, it's about the New Democrat Party. They ran about the New Democrat Party, and we don't see the property tax relief that they committed to as being passed right now in the Assembly.
Senator, you know the expression being too cute by half? Senator, if the governor asks you to revise your position, and he's willing to move, will you join him, since you say you're committed to the governor, and modify the proposal?
Yeah, Fred, you've asked this question of me on numerous occasions, and I appreciate your...
Well, the governor has changed his position.
I haven't...
He's not backing the bill that you say he's backing it. He says he's open to negotiating.
I haven't heard him say that he's not going to still support his bill. I think he has said it, and looking at commercials on TV, continues to say, support the governor's property tax cap bill, which we do because we've passed it. And I don't believe our conference is interested in saying we got a property tax cap by excluding pensions, health care, salaries. That's New Jersey.
What about going to 2.5%?
That's New Jersey. Remember on Saturday Night Live when Governor Patterson was...